Hey guys, it's CrazyWargamerz Christian here with the second installment of Know Your Foe. Today we're going to go over the Imperial Guard, a few weaknesses, a few strengths, and how to take advantage of them and what to look out for whenever you're fighting Imperial Guard. Imperial Guard, whenever you're looking at them first, the Imperial Guard kind of look like they're pretty easy to beat because they have a lot of low-grade guardsmen, the average ballistic skill being 3, which means they're going to be needing 4s to hit. That's going to be pretty difficult to really get around because it's not just 1 or 2 guardsmen you're fighting, it's a lot. It's a couple of dozen. In an average 1500 point game, you're going to be fighting at least 30-40 guardsmen and a decent handful of tanks. So let's just go over their strengths and their weaknesses and the ways to get around. Let's go over their strengths first. They have a lot of guardsmen. They have a lot of individual troops. Keep that in mind. They do have a lot of guardsmen which have the average weapon of a las gun. A las gun, as we all know, are angry flashlights. They're strength 3, AP nothing gun. So really, anybody's going to be getting a save from that, except Kroot. Kroot are going to be getting shot down by that. So if you're an Imperial Guard player and you just happen to be going up against an army full of Kroot, you've got the day. But a lot of guardsmen, a lot of las guns means a lot of rapid-fire shots. And if you're within rapid-fire range, even a squad of Space Marine Terminators or Chaos Space Marine Terminators are going to go down from that. Maybe 1 or 2 of them are going to go down, and that's going to spell a disaster for the average guys. Because that means, hey, we're in range of rapid, they can come and kill us, but they're going to take a few of them out in the process. So that's strength number 1. They have a lot of guardsmen. Keep that in mind. The second strength of theirs, and the other only strength that I can really find, other than like Commissar Yark, who's near impossible to kill, is they have a lot of battle tanks, and a lot of battle tanks means, as we know, a lot of blast templates, and a lot of blast templates means a lot of boo-boos on your guys, and that's not going to be good. Even if you have a Space Marine squad like Chimera or a Lehman Russ or a Baneblade, it's going to be spelling disaster for you. It's going to be blowing your ass to pieces. So that's another strength of theirs, and that's something you're going to need to watch out for. Some of their weaknesses is their strengths. Their strengths are also their weaknesses. They have a lot of guys, but those lot of guys have a low morale. And if you can shoot down those guys and make them take a morale test, they're going to be running back, which is going to help a lot. That's seriously going to help you. That's going to make sure that those guys don't fire on you anymore. If they're below half strength, they're not coming back. If they're within 6 inches of an enemy, they're going to keep running their asses. Now, another strength of theirs is they have a lot of tanks, and here's a problem with that. Their tanks aren't particularly tough. It's not like they're a bunch of Land Raiders. Of course, I think it's a Lehman Russ has a front armor of 14. I'm not entirely sure. So don't be approaching Lehman Russ from the front. And typically Lehman Russes are going to be in the back, because if they're all the way in the front, then there's something wrong with the guy. Yeah, their strengths are also their weaknesses. The front armor on their tank, on the average tank, is like an 11 or 12. So they're pretty easy to puncture, but they do have a lot of power on those tanks, so keep that in mind. So their strengths are they have a large amount of guardsmen. They have a lot of them. And they field a lot of heavy tanks. Their weaknesses are all those guardsmen have a low leadership and a low toughness and basically a shitty armor save, and they're going to be running back at the first sign of trouble. Their tanks, which is their second strength, are also a very good weakness, or a very bad weakness, I apologize. Those tanks are going to be getting punctured by las cannon fire, missile launcher fire. Of course, most things usually do, but theirs is going to be a little bit easier than most. So keep that in mind as well. Their weaknesses are their tanks as well as they are their strengths. As those tanks, once one of those tanks is gone, that's a large blast template that you don't need to worry about, or a Chimera flamer that you don't need to worry about, or a bunch of multi-laser fire that you don't have to worry about. So let's go over ways to get around their strengths. Their strengths is to get around the Imperial Guard, I should say. They're not like Space Marines like I did in the last edition that really are hard to get around and they can equip themselves to fight anybody. Guardsmen pretty much need the same tactic every time, the same way of playing in order to really win. They're not that flexible, so keep that in mind. Guardsmen aren't that flexible, and typically they're going to be employing the same basic battle maneuvers that you would normally expect from somebody with a lot of tanks and a lot of guardsmen that can't shoot for shit. Really, you can wear down the guardsmen with just about any gun you got. If you're going to fight regular guardsmen, I wouldn't beef up your guys as much. If you got Space Marines, don't even bother beefing them up as much. Maybe give one Devastator squad all las cannons so you can really punch tanks. But really keep your basic Marine squads relatively undeveloped. Give them just basic bolters, because those basic bolters are going to wreak a lot of havoc on those guys. Even if they do give them carapace armor, which from what I understand gives them a 4-up armor save. 4-up armor save, I apologize. Yeah, they're going to be allowed an armor save, but their armor save is a 4-up. It's not like it's a Space Marine where it's a 3-up and out of 5 guys, 1 or 2 are going to die. It's guardsmen, they've got an average of maybe 8 to 10 guardsmen from what I can see from how I fought them. If you fire a bolt at them, they get a 4-up armor save. 50 of them are going to die at the possibility and the odds that are given at that. They're going to be going down pretty easily from just about anything. So really, if you're going to fight guardsmen, don't even bother beefing up your basic troops, because they're going to be able to do as much damage as they are. Maybe give one squad a missile launcher, or maybe another squad a missile launcher. Maybe give one squad a heavy weapon so you can take out a tank should you get close enough, like a melt-a-gun. A melt-a-gun's good. Second way to get around the guardsmen, aim for the tanks. If you've got a lot of heavy weapons, aim for the tanks. Take some cover as well. Take as much cover as you can and try to take some scattered cover, because those large blast templates, remember the cover, whenever you get cover from a large blast template, or any blast template for that matter, the covers, the shot is assumed to come from the center of the blast marker. So if the blast marker lands around your guys and your guys are behind cover from the center of the blast marker, it's like it's exploding and going towards you from the middle. It's like it's coming at you from the middle instead of exploding on you. So if the shots are looking like they're coming at you from the center of the blast marker and you're behind cover, that's going to help a whole lot. Keep that in mind. So really aim for the tanks and keep your heavy squads in cover. Do not move your heavy squads up much at all. Get them in range, of course, of the enemy tanks, and keep your close combat squads like Gene Stealers, Harmagons, Khorne Berserkers, Assault Marines. Keep them engaged in combat. Keep them engaged in combat as much as you can, because if you can get them engaged in combat with guardsmen or ogrins, then that's going to keep them from getting shot at. And to be honest, guardsmen are not good in close combat, so you can go up and fight them and hopefully not kill them all off in your assault phase, and in their assault phase kill them all off and move. That way that'll give you the chance to move, shoot, and then kill somebody else off, or maybe get stuck in with somebody else's squad. Try as hard as you can to keep your assault squads, your close combat squads I should say, in as few squads as possible. Keep them low in number and try to get them engaged in combat. Keep them in cover as much as you can, of course. That's true with any fight against any foe. Keep them in cover as much as you can. But if you insist on getting them head first towards the enemy like Khorne Berserkers, get them engaged in combat as fast as possible and try to keep them in combat as long as possible. And that's seriously going to help you stay alive, and seriously going to limit their firing options. And if you take out a tank or two, that's going to help you a lot as well, because that's going to make him scramble to really make up for that loss by maybe dropping in a Valkyrie. And Valkyries aren't as strong as they look. They look very intimidating because they're flying vehicles, but they have an armor all around a 12. The las cannon's not going to have any problem with that, or a warp lance from the new Tyranid Codex is not going to have any trouble with that whatsoever. So aim as much heavy fire as you can at the tanks. Equip a close combat squad with melt-a-bombs should you get close enough, because that's really going to help you take them out as well. Fit in melt-a-bombs to any close combat squad if you have an army that can be equipped with melt-a-bombs. Find something that can take out a tank in close assault. So should you wreck it, you can hide behind it. Should you not wreck it and should it explode, get into the crater. They give you a 5-up cover save from something that normally wouldn't give you cover save, like say a flamer, and you have Termagants, or Termagants my ass, Gene Stealers, that's a better one, and they get hit by that flamer. They're not going to be getting that cover save, but at least from other shots, like say from a heavy bolter that would easily be able to mow them down, or bolter shots, you're going to be getting a cover save. Or from las gun fire, you're going to be getting a better cover save. So keep that in mind as well. So really, that's about it when it comes to guardsmen. Their strengths, that they have a lot of guardsmen, and they have a lot of heavy tanks. Their weaknesses, their guardsmen have low leadership and low toughness and a low ballistic skill, and their tanks are usually not as well armored as they could be. Ways to get around them, of course, the number one rule: take cover as much as possible. Engage your assault squads with the regular guardsmen as much as possible, and keep them in there as long as you can. Don't beef up your squads unless you really have to make up for points. Try as hard as you can not to beef up squads, because your basic troops are going to be able to take them out. Devastator squads, give them all anti-vehicle weaponry, and equip at least 1 or 2 squads with some anti-vehicle weaponry for close combat, like melta bombs or some sort of bomb from the Tau. I don't know what bombs Tau have, if any, because they suck in combat. They're coming up soon as well, so keep that in mind. That's about it, guys. That's our second installment of Know Your Foe. I hope you guys will benefit from this. Maybe post a response to how that helped you. Maybe some additions to the Know Your Foe, and hopefully I help some guys out. This is Crazy Wargamer Christian signing off.